Here we go. Episode 8 of the 10-day, 10-episode recap of Ozark Season 3. I'm MoedotJ, and like I always say, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to it if you like my content. And if you subscribe, turn on your notification bell. Go ahead and hit that ding so you can get something every time I drop. If you know me and you've seen any of my previous episodes, you know I'm not going to hold you up. We're going to jump right into this. Hey, Episode 8, Season 3. 10-day, 10 episode. Let's go. So after everything that's been going on, Marty pulls up to Sue's house because he has to check on her. Like, hey, you got to get rid of this car. I told you at my house you can't have this car. Why do you have this car? But when he gets there, he doesn't see the car. Normally the car is just parked outside in the front. So he goes in the house. Sue? He looking around. He can't find her. He's not speaking. So he goes in the kitchen, and what he does is open up her drawer. He knows in the drawer is where she has her little scheduler. It's a little black book. You go in there, it's got the appointments, everybody. So she goes in it. He goes in there and he sees, wait a minute, Helen was here yesterday. Uh-oh. That can only mean one thing. Sue isn't here. Garage was open. And Helen was in the book. Puts his hand in his sleeve, starts wiping stuff off. Let me put this back in here, wipe the book off, wipe the counter off. He picks up his keys, then he goes in the back. He goes to the computer. But when Nelson went in there and found the payments that were getting paid to Sue, Nelson wiped the whole computer, pulled out all the transactions so you can't see any of her documents, none of the people that were in her appointment books. He cleared everything. So Marty's in there trying to figure it out. And he's like, oh my, they didn't got to Sue before I did. So you already know Helen's about to bring up something. Like, in his head, he's like, oh man, I'm about to have to deal with a lot of nonsense. But that's just one person that had to be gone. Like, they had to get rid of Sue because she knew too much information about the whole operation. Wendy and Helen, they've been butting heads. So pretty much after Aaron got arrested, they kind of fell off. Like, hey, your daughter was supposed to be watching out for Aaron. Charlotte and Jonah, they not doing their job. Like, Aaron got arrested, and then Wendy's pretty much like, well, I thought we were friends, so much to our friendship. And Helen was like, we were never friends. We just do business together. And I wasn't even really doing business with you because I wanted to. It's because Navarro made me partner with you. So that's one thing. Wendy was like, oh, really? But Marty was already telling her, like, hey, man, stay out of all this stuff. And it turns out that Helen is kind of shady. I mean, she got loyalty to Navarro, but she's kind of shady. She's like, we're not friends. This is just business. We got to get this stuff done. All because her daughter, Aaron, started all this by trying to talk to Tony and losing her virginity. This isn't Charlotte or Jonah's job. This was all on her. Here goes good old Marty working like he's supposed to. So he sits down with Maya and he brings up another file of another guy that he's been watching. So anyone that's just like, this is one of your first episodes you've seen and you just jumping right into it. Well, what Marty is doing is he's finding other cases that are similar to his, but a little lower, and giving them all the information of, hey, this is what they're doing. This is how they're washing money. This is how they're doing check frauds. And he's giving it to Maya to try to flip her. So what he did was find another person. Now, Benny the check guy, Marty had already turned into the FBI. Now, they talked to Agent Maya about it, like, hey, if you're getting information about a case, you're supposed to do it. So she's pretty much telling Marty, like, hey, I keep telling you, you can't do the work for the FBI and not go do your jail time. You have to do the jail time. And Marty's like, oh, well, I'm not doing that. But when the FBI gets this information about this guy, oh, they're going to be happy just like they were with Ben. So pretty much she's sitting there like, man, so you're going to keep doing this? You're going to keep giving the FBI information? And I'm trying to help you out, but you're going to keep giving them information, which is going to eventually draw me off of it. They're going to say, hey, we got this information. Maya, you're the one that you're due accounting. You need to get on this case. And Marty walks off because Marty is smart. He's going to flip her. I'm pretty sure he is going to flip her. And she's going to be working with Marty. And she's going to be off his case. He's going to give her a little bit of money or something. Help take care of the kid. He's going to do something. I know it is. That's Marty. Crazy being off his meds. So he's been driving up to Kansas City. He's trying to get on the property and go see Frank. because he's looking for Frank Jr. for what he did to Ruth, the love of his life. And he keeps pulling up and he's like, hey, I'm here to see Frank. Oh, he's in a meeting. What do you mean he's in a meeting? Did you call him? No, he's in the meeting. Can't come in here. So he's like, man, what? Like, I'm coming up here. I'm going to talk to him eventually, man. But they keep denying him. Like, their job is to make sure you don't get on here, especially with all this illegal stuff. And Ben, he doesn't understand how the mob, the cartel, all this stuff works. He just thinks he can pull up and go talk to somebody. Well, Frank is a made man. Frank Jr. is a made man. You can't just do that, Ben. And your name isn't on the list. You can't get in if your name ain't on the list. Even Marty couldn't get in unless his name was on the list, Ben. Everything is falling into place just like Marty wanted. So Wendy's actually meeting with an agent. And she's like, here goes some information that Marty's dug up. You know, we stumbled across this and we really want you guys to investigate this because it's some fraud and some illegal stuff going on. Now, there's an agent. We gave her this information, but she pretty much told us to F off. Like, she didn't want any parts of this. But this is illegal stuff in the FBI. We just want you guys to be aware of it. So, man, he's like, what was her name? Miller. Agent Maya Miller. He's like, oh, really? So you gave her this information and she did nothing with it? Yeah, she didn't do anything with it. Now, this is Marty and Wendy not working together, but working together. Now, they may have their differences, but they know for both of them, they gotta work together to try to get Maya Miller off of this case because they both need this casino to work to get the other casino to work, to be able to pay off their debt to Navarro and then keep everything for themselves and keep Marty out of jail for the kids. Man, these Byrdes, they ain't nothing to play with. I still think Jonah's the smartest because he's laundering all kinds of money offshore and that boy is smart. Ben drove up to Kansas City. He couldn't get on the property. He's looking for Frank Jr. You will pay, Frank. You will pay. But he doesn't successfully get onto the property to find Frank Jr. But he ends up getting drunk at a bar and beating the snot out of a guy, a random guy. They just at the bar. And he's like, oh, nice tie. The guy was like, oh, thanks. Ben's like, man, I was being sarcastic. He's like, I know you was. That right there got to Ben. Ben got up. Bow! Knocked him out. Boom, boom, boom. Stomped him. He ends up getting arrested. Ruth has to drive all the way up to Kansas City. They release him to Ruth. So while they're riding back, Ben's like, man, Frank Jr., he gotta pay for this. And Ruth's like, man, nah, just leave it alone, man. Just leave it alone. And he's like, man, it can't happen. Something's gotta be done. And he's like, man, all this stuff, like, it's just bad. And then out of nowhere, Ruth gets quiet and he's like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, nothing. He's like, man, something has to be done to Frank. And he's like, man, Wendy and them not gonna do nothing. Then she pretty much sticks up for Wendy. Like, Wendy is strong. Don't get it fooled. She's very strong. She does things that you wouldn't even expect. He's like, why she hadn't did nothing now? He's like, Ruth just said she didn't want to do anything at the moment. But don't ever think that Marty is stopping her from doing whatever she wants to do. Because we know Wendy will go off and do her own thing. But Ben doesn't understand that because he hasn't seen her that much since he was 18. So he thinks she's just doing whatever Marty wants. He doesn't know that she's actually, I won't say running things, but she got a little stuff going on herself. And Ruth noticed. See, Marty knew what he was doing. So Wendy gave the information to the feds. Marty had already talked to Maya about like, hey man, you need to get this information and take care of it, or I'm gonna turn it into the FBI. So pretty much she gets called in and they're like, hey, there's a crime being committed and you had knowledge about it? And Maya was like, yeah, I received the information. They're like, you didn't do anything about it? She's like, no, I didn't do anything because I'm on the case right now. And her supervisor is like, no. You're the FBI. Your job is preventing crimes or solving crime. So if you get information, your job is to do this right now. If you know that someone's murdering somebody, but it's not your case, you're gonna say, oh no, I'm good. It ain't my case. I'm on something else right now. I'm not gonna do it. So that's pretty much what they're telling Maya. You have to do anytime you get evidence or you get leads towards something that's being fraudulent or happening, that's your job. You gotta do it. And Maya's sitting there like, Marty. But Marty is doing the right thing. He's going to tell her, I guarantee he's going to be like, hey, I'll stop giving this information if you just leave me alone. because I'll keep feeding FBI information. There's a lot of stuff I can find out. This is why you want me to work for you, because I'm the best at this. Maya doesn't like that. So we all know how this is going to go. There's a big event being held at the Missouri Belle. Marty and the Byrde family are going to show up. Of course, you got Helen there. And then you got Darlene and Wyatt show up. Now, Miss Darlene Snell is 1/3 owner of the boat. When Helen and Wendy see this, they're like, oh, Lord, what is she doing here? And Wendy, she takes a sip of the champagne. Well, shoot, I can't control who buys tickets. Even though I doubt they bought tickets, they could just show up. It's their boat. But everyone's nervous about what's going to be going on here. And if we know the Ozarks, if we get everyone in one area at one time, drama-filled event. That's all I'm going to say is a drama-filled event. Wyatt got cleaned up. Even Darlene got cleaned up. And the surprising thing is Jonah got kissed by Aaron. So, hey, as of right now, everything is looking good. You know what I'm saying? I think Marty's going to have a presentation. He's going to have to go up there and talk about the Missouri Belle and how they're doing and all the money they're bringing in and their future expansions and everything. But let's see how this plays out, though. Now, was I right or was I right? So as the evening goes on, everyone's just having a good time. We're listening to all the speakers. Like, oh, this is a nice event at the Belle. These birds sure really can throw a party. I'm glad I'm down here in the Ozarks at this casino. Then all of a sudden, you hear somebody yelling. Who is it? Crazy Ben. Ben comes to the event. It's a black tie. You know, everybody got suits and stuff on. He comes up here, sleeves rolled up, hair slicked back in a ponytail. Ben's here for action, you know what I'm saying? So he starts talking to Wendy, and then everyone hears him yelling. Like, what? Well, Ben, he starts going through everything. Wendy, talk to me now. She's like, nah, let's go downstairs and let's talk about it. Because you don't want, first of all, you don't want any of your family's dirty laundry just out and about. But of course, you don't want anything out that has to deal with your illegal work. Right? He's talking about, hey, what happened to Marty's partner up in Chicago? Did you help him disappear too? Is that the reason you guys came? Or did all this start when you came down here? So pretty much he's trying to piece it together. Did you start working for the cartel when you was in Chicago? Or did you start when you got down in the Ozarks? So he took it back to the beginning, first episode, season 1. And she's like, oh, no. You're having an episode right now. You need to be on your meds. And then he says, don't talk to me like I'm sick and you're well, because everything is messed up. Marty comes down, he's like, hey, Ben, is everything all right? And this is where Ben loses. You already know he's mad at Marty, because Marty told him early, hey, man, how long you staying here? A day or two? Like, you need to get up out of here. And he tells Marty, no, everything isn't all right. It's F up. And then, bow, he punches Marty in the mouth. So everybody's like, security comes over there, they escort him out. You can see right here in the video, he's, let me at him, let me at him. Marty lucky security is holding, because I think Ben would get off in Marty's tail, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. They end up having to arrest Ben for disorderly conduct and, you know, assault and all kinds of stuff. Who knows? Belligerent, probably under the influence of alcohol. Who knows with Ben? It's a whole list of things. But Marty and Wendy, they come up there and they're like, no. Look, don't arrest him for none of this stuff, man. He's bipolar. He's not on his meds. He needs to be in a psych ward or a hospital. So instead of actually arresting him, they drop down all the charges. All the charges are dropped. The only thing they give him is, you know, they just list it as a family, you know, a family squabble. You know, you get into it with your brother, but you guys don't mean to hurt nobody. If someone gets hurt, it wasn't intentional. So they give him that, and they actually release him to a mental hospital. But before they do that, Ben's in there crying. He's like, man, I don't want to go in there, man. I don't need to be in there, man. I'll be all right, man. Just let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me live. But this is the best thing for him to do, because he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. And if they put him in there, it'd actually be good, because if he talks to somebody, they're like, well, you know, he's not on his meds. He's just making up some stuff. Wendy and Ruth, they both go visit Ben in the mental hospital, and they come up into the lobby and they say, all right, he's ready to see his guest. So they get up, and the lady tells her, oh no, just Ruth. And Wendy, he doesn't want to see you. So Wendy, she had a bag full of like stuff. She had like a little blanket and stuff that he likes and some food that he likes. So she tells Ruth, hey, just take this and give it to him. So she's like, all right, she goes in there. And for the most part, they're sitting there quietly, and Ben's crying because he telling her that he's telling Ruth that Wendy told me she would never put me back in the hospital again. But here I am. So he's sitting there and he's just crying. And then Ruth asks, why did you come to the party like that last night? And he says he figured it out. He's like, Wendy killed your dad and Agent Petty. And Ruth is like, nah, she didn't kill Agent Petty. It was just my father. But it's complicated. My dad was on some other stuff. So, I mean, he won't understand it because he wasn't there. But, man, it's bad. It's sad to see people in there like that, but man, Ben, you wilding out, man. You ain't on your meds. You can't be trusted. Oh, things about to heat up. So, real quick, Helen called Navarro and was like, hey, Navarro, I think we need to discuss what's going on up here. I think our partners aren't what we expected them to be. Right now, they're barely moving any money. And last night, the little charity event we had, all messed up. Navarro's like, what does it got to do with me? Well, I just want to make sure that the business is running properly, because I don't know if we can really depend on them no more. Navarro says, do what you need to do. Darlene goes to the police station and then she talks to the officers. She talks to the sheriff like, hey, you need to do me a favor. And the officer is like, okay, I'll do you a favor, but you'd have to find someone else to move your opioids and your heroin. Because she wanted him to get 4 or 5 officers that he could trust to move the drugs. But now his way out is, I'm going to do this favor for you. And the favor that he does for Darlene is releases Ben from the mental hospital. Now, Ben is on the loose. No one knows where Ben is. Ben goes straight to Helen's house and he just spills everything. He goes up there, you dirty B. You need to know this about your mom, Aaron. Your mom works with a cartel. She launders her money. She gets people killed. And Helen's like, hey, you need to stop. Shut up. Stop saying anything. Because her daughter doesn't know anything about anything. We all know her. She's just like, I've been with my dad. I don't know anything. And he just goes off like, no, she needs to hear this. You a bad person. You get people killed. You're doing all kinds of stuff. And Aaron's like, is this for real, Mom? And she's like, no, don't believe any of this. So Ben, he leaves like, man, what the F am I even doing here? So he leaves. Now, no one knows where Ben is going. Ben is on the loose, off his meds. Everybody's pretty much against him. That's how he's feeling. It's about to be crazy. So Wendy's calling like, how did Ben get released? When have you ever had a sheriff just write a piece of paper and say release him? And then not even to me, his, you know what I'm saying, his technical, I won't even say guardian because he's an adult, but you know, I'm supposed to be watching over him. Episode 9 is gonna be crazy, especially with Ben on the loose. Hey, that's episode 8 of the 10-day, 10-episode recap of season 3 of Ozarks. Comment below, what do you think Ben's about to do next? Ben is wilding out. He drove up to Kansas City to try to find Frank Jr. Now he's out here talking bad to Helen. He beat up a dude in the bar that he didn't even know. Comment below, what do you think Ben is gonna do? But hey, thanks for watching. That's episode 8. We're going to be here tomorrow for episode 9 at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that I'm dropping all of these episodes. And like I like to say all the time, follow me on my social media. It's MoedotJ on everything. If you're new to the channel and you like what I'm doing, subscribe, turn on your notification, like, share, comment. Hey, and thanks for watching, man. I'm MoedotJ and I'm out.